This is the Trade Machine Podcast, and we're all excited. We're having a great time. We're all happy. Especially no one's happier than my co-host and little brother, Hunter Dewey Sons. Hunter, what's good?
Okay, that's not okay. But
Yeah, you got the full legal in this mug.
Nope. No.
Okay, whatever you say. And Rich, what's going on?
What up, man?
Yeah, man. So we're recording this Wednesday night, actually the night before the trade deadline. And usually you would think, why would you record a podcast before the deadline? But there's been so many trades, we got to talk about it. And if there's more trades tomorrow, we'll find a way to hop on here and talk about those. If Giannis gets traded or something crazy happens, we'll find a way to make it happen. You get a little part 2 sauce for you. But so what we're going to do is we're going to go through some of the most this is, to me, one of the most insane deadlines that I've in like recent memory. Like stuff is happening that I'm just so confused about.
Even before the deadline too.
Yeah.
Trae Young like Tuesday. A month before the deadline.
Yeah. Who knows? But we got some fun stuff to talk about. So we're going to start with former Laker himself, Rich. The man that got you Luka Doncic. The man that brought your team a championship in 2020. Defensive Player of the Year, first team All-NBA player, Anthony Davis, traded to the Wizards for Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Branham, number 2 overall pick, Marvin Bagley. He was that once.
Oh, what an upgrade the Mavs got. They flipped the number 3.
2 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks. Anthony Davis is on the Wizards. What the hell is happening, Rich? What do you think?
I think it's great for the Wizards, but Dallas is, I don't know. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, if you were, first off, they didn't know they were getting a lottery pick, so I don't want to hear nothing about Cooper Flag being there because that was just whatever happened, whatever was under the table, whatever was going on.
I might take Cooper Flag over Luka, dude.
I mean,
I don't know. I think they won the trade. Shout out Nico. He was light years ahead.
But
like Joe Lacob.
But I'm saying, like, in terms of what you traded for Luka, it just doesn't seem like much of a return. But I mean, I did this with the Jazz. I didn't see the vision, and now as they've been making moves, it's kind of become more apparent. So maybe there will be things in the future that will look better for Dallas. But switching over to the Wizards, though, it got me a little bit excited for their future because. Anthony Davis is older. Trae Young is kind of reaching that point where it's kind of time for him to start winning as well.
Make or break for the career.
Yeah. But I like it for the Wizards, so they got some young up-and-coming guys, and to add these 2 vets that know how to win, and I think can get guys to rally behind them. I like it. I like it for AD and Trae Young.
Yeah, my first reaction when I saw the trade was, what the hell are the Wizards doing?
Yeah.
But man, the more I think about it, Hunter,
I think it's kind of a win-win.
I kind of like it. Tell me, I want to hear the Maverick side because we're going to talk about the Wizards, but I want to hear your.
Everyone knew that Anthony Davis, low value, wasn't going to be on their team, so he doesn't have any value at all with that, and you get off maybe the worst contract in the league. And you have money freed up to build around Cooper Flag now.
Do you know how much that Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving played together on the Mavericks, Hunter?
They 2 games, 1 game?
I think it was 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving were on the court together and in those 25 minutes, the Mavs looked insane. I will say.
That's what got everybody excited about it.
And then Anthony Davis went down, and then Kyrie tore his ACL, and it was wraps. I'm looking at this and I want to talk about how I like A.J. Johnson, but it's just so hard to talk about how I like A.J. Johnson when they turned Luka Doncic into Chris Middleton.
You just need to stop looking at the Luka part in this. Just focus on what they've done to rebuild off
possible,
of it.
Bro.
Hunter, what do you mean?
Just focus on what the new GM's done. Part. No, just focus on what the new GM's done, not what the last one did.
That is fair. That's fair. It ain't his fault.
I
he didn't
I
trade
like
Luka.
the Mavericks. Right. I like the Mavericks saying Um, let's just wash our hands with the whole Luka deal.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Anthony Davis went to the Mavericks because Nico was his guy. Nico was his rep with Nike. Nico was Kobe's guy. He was Anthony Davis's guy. That's the whole reason he went to the Mavericks. So with Nico gone, I imagine Anthony Davis probably didn't really have any allies in the building.
Yeah.
Or by the fans.
Because it's kind of like, I don't know, like every time they look at him, it's just like reminding them of the ex-girlfriend,
Thanks. Yeah, that's
It's like
exactly
it's not
what
his
it was.
fault. It ain't his fault because he's great. He's a good catch, right? Like I'm sure there are plenty of people that would be really excited to settle down with Anthony Davis. I'm sure he cooks well. I'm sure he's got himself a nice little job. But when your ex is Luka Doncic,
Can't help but
it's hard to
reminisce,
look
bro.
at Anthony Davis and not feel. You got to reminisce.
Yeah.
So just get it out the building. You got to move on.
Right.
You got to move on. You got to get out the house, go to a new city. You got to switch it all the way up. And so I like that for Dallas. And honestly, they're not good picks. But if you told me 3 weeks ago that Dallas was going to get 2 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks for Anthony Davis, I would say it's a huge win. Like, I don't care that they're bad picks. It's going to be the 31st pick or whatever, the 30th pick. With OKC's pick, the Warriors pick in 2030 might actually be juicy.
Lottery
that might
protected.
actually be a good pick. It's lottery protected, but what does it turn into? That's the stuff that I don't know. Some of the stuff, it's like, is it lottery protected for 2 years and then it's unprotected, or does it turn into 2 seconds after? Sometimes the way this is protected
You
can
said
be
2029?
a mess. 2030,
2030.
first round for the Warriors.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, Steph is gone by then.
Right.
Unless he's 40, 41 playing.
Yeah, then it'll be a Laker. He'll have his best season of his career.
Yeah, he'll probably be on the Lakers then. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we know how this goes.
Yeah.
But let's look at the Wizards. The Wizards keep Keyshawn George and Alex Sarr, who are like their 2 core pieces, right? They keep Trey Johnson, they keep Bilal Coulibaly, and they keep their pick this year, which is the big part, to play with Trae Young and Anthony Davis. And the more I think about it, I just kind of like it, man. I'm not a big Trae Young guy, but man, with this team, when you've got these kind of like long defenders like Sarr and Anthony Davis, if Anthony Davis plays, those 2 guys defensively, like that's nuts. That's crazy stuff. Keyshawn George, for me, I think he's going to be awesome. I see Jalen Johnson when he plays. I see him being that kind of player if he can get to his ceiling. So, and the East is a mess. So, like, why not say, let's make a run next year? Because they essentially took what they got for Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma, and they turned it into Anthony Davis and Trae Young. That's like A+ work.
I was about to say,
that's A+ work.
Which is really
They just didn't give
impressive.
up a ton to get 2.
It's the ultimate buy low
good
of
players.
both those guys.
If they don't
Ultimate
work
buy
out,
low.
you can just flip them for nothing because you got them for nothing.
Yeah.
And maybe if the Wizards called the Lakers, they could trade Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic. I don't know.
No,
It's happened once.
He's never leaving
And
LA.
won first.
So we need to shut all that down. He's retiring in purple and gold. So sorry, y'all.
Purple and gold.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, the Anthony Davis trade is nuts. I mean, the other throw-ins, D'Angelo Russell, Jaden Hardy, Dante Exum, I wouldn't be shocked if Exum ends up getting rerouted to a contender, a team like the Celtics, or I would love to see Dante Exum on the Rockets. Just a defensive guard like that.
I feel
That'd
like
be really exciting.
Exum been in the league for 30 years.
What was crazy is he was a
took a
lottery
break.
pick. He was a lottery pick. Then he went overseas and played. Was out the
I didn't
league,
know he
and
was
then
even
he came
overseas.
back. He did the PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
He was out the league, went overseas, and came back, and then was better when he came back. Has become like an actual good role player. So I would look to see Dante Exum rerouted. We'll see what happens in the next day. Again, we're recording this Wednesday night. But Hunter, do you have any other thoughts on this?
No.
I don't think it's gonna work out because Anthony Davis doesn't play basketball, and he has 2 more years after this.
But
What's
you gave
really
up nothing
interesting
for the chance. So
Yeah, so on the court, you buy low, you basically give up nothing to get Trae Young and Anthony Davis to pair with all your young stars. And if they strike gold in this lottery and they get one of those top 3 guys, even one of the top 5 or 6
top
guys.
5 guys, the top 5 is
like,
good.
I mean, if they got Nate Mint, who's probably going to go in the top 8 maybe. Like every time I look, he's fallen. Like, if they just get any of those guys to pair with the young core they already have, you have Trae Young and Anthony Davis. Worst case scenario, they just work as vets while your young core gets better and gets experience.
I think that was the main thing for real.
Yeah, I think Anthony Davis, because he's going to be around longer. Anthony Davis has this year and then 2 more years after that. What
He's
I'm
not
interested
gonna be
to
easy
see,
to trade.
Anthony Davis is eligible for an extension this summer. I'd be shocked if they extended him.
Yeah.
I would be
No,
shocked if they gave
really.
him a max extension after this last year. The spicy one, though, Trae Young has a player option this summer. So Trae Young could technically be a free agent. It would be kind of crazy if they traded for him and then he just walked. So my bet would be they extend Trae Young and they do not extend Anthony Davis and they just let him go to his player option and just dare him to not take a $62 million player option next year.
Right.
Which unless he just
accept. Yeah.
I was about to say, I would imagine he's already accepted it. Just call the agent now. Unless he has the most just like complete turnaround in his career and he has a complete like healthy year. He plays 70 games next year, defensive player of the year type of performance.
I think he just needs to
I don't see a way that he doesn't pick it up. Yeah, but he's not going to be healthy.
Yeah.
He's going to stub his toe on the flight to Washington.
Yeah, at this point, I'm like
it's wraps for this guy, man.
There's a whole bunch of contingencies on this deal with Washington's success. Like it has to either they got some plans to move Anthony Davis, towards the end of that deal, or you get the championship level AD, you get the Eastern Conference Finals run, Trae Young and these young guys blossom into not necessarily their ceilings, but just in a way that can elevate the vets and also develop them into just a winning team. But I mean, that doesn't happen a lot. I'm not saying it can't happen, but with these guys' timelines, specifically Anthony Davis, it just don't. I feel like there's more to it, like something that this is leading somewhere else as opposed to AD being a part of their future for him. But we'll see.
But that's the thing too with these contracts is all these guys I have are so young. By the time they're going to be signing their extensions off their rookie deals, the Trae Young contract, the Anthony Davis contract, they're going to be falling off.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like having a rookie quarterback in the NFL, where it's like you could sign everybody because the quarterback's not making $60 million yet.
Yeah, right.
And the Wizards are just doing that with buy low guys that they don't have to really give up anything to get, so they get to keep all their young guys, and they get to pay Anthony Davis and Trae Young. And like if everything hits, this team could. This sounds crazy, but if everything hits, this team that could win the East.
Absolutely, bro. I mean, like I said,
like Keyshawn George has another step up. Alex Sarr even just continues to progress the way he is. Anthony Davis and Trae Young. That's a team that could win the East.
Yeah, I mean, with the East fluctuates every year, bro. There's no team in the East that's just like, okay, they're going to be.
Well, I mean.
Okay, well, we can give it. We give it to the Celtics right now. Shout out Jaylen Brown. That's my guy.
Look, they're going to be there every year. But
well,
they could. Somebody else could punch their ticket to try and beat the Celtics. That's really what we're talking about.
I mean,
Hunter, your team. Let's hold up. No. We're going to hold.
Oh, shit.
Okay, I can't. We're going to hold up real quick. Your team, you're not going to talk to me about the playoffs. You're not going to talk to me about my team because your team said we can't get out the second round. You know who we should trade for? James Harden. What the hell is your team doing? What are you doing? Keep the Celtics out your mouth, okay?
Just saying, I didn't choose a 16-time champion team. My team didn't have a championship when I chose them. You just chose the easiest team.
Well, hold on now.
Okay.
Well,
yes,
wait.
Hunter, you started watching the Cavs when Kyrie and LeBron are there. What are we talking about?
There's nothing wrong with following greatness, bro. There's nothing wrong with it.
Was there a championship yet? No.
Yeah, you watched them win a championship and you became a Cavs fan. What
Didn't
are
have
we
it yet.
doing right now? What are we doing?
Just saying. You just chose the easiest team to choose, pretty much.
I understand grief hurts you. No, if I chose the easiest team, I would have been a Kobe fan with Rich.
Easy, I would say easy. I just chose.
But I delighted in hating
The
Kobe
greatest of
more
all
than I
time.
delighted in loving Kobe. If you were a basketball fan in the 2000s, you got to pick. Do I want to hate Kobe or do I want to love Kobe? And that's kind of what decided the team that you were going to.
Basically, you're saying, do I like winning or do I hate him because he's winning? One of those two, and I love winning. You know what I mean? So I was like, let me just jump on the goat wagon.
Alex is not enjoying this conversation. Just look
The
at his
Celtics
face.
won in 08. The Celtics won in 08.
And then we
Kobe won
back
in 2010. Kobe won in 2010. He didn't beat the Celtics in 09 because KG hurt his knee and he was out.
because you didn't make it.
That's not how that works.
If KG was healthy, if they would have played the Celtics in 2009, is a whole
The
different
Raptors
story.
not beat the Warriors?
It's a whole different story.
I'm gonna say it till I die. If Kobe had Chris Paul, he'd have more rings. But we can't live in the past, Alex.
But what's crazy is I think Chris Paul and Kobe might have actually killed each other. Those two dudes
They might have, bro. They might have. I ain't gonna lie.
They might have actually killed each other.
That might have blew up. But
you talk about two like the ultimate like hotheads tell everybody else what to do in the league because they're just so great they can do that.
But imagine if it worked. It'd just be beautiful.
Imagine if Ninja had a low taper fade, bro.
I think you just brought up the most surprising trade of the day.
Yeah.
I think most people forgot Chris Paul was on a team.
I did.
Yeah, Chris Paul, Toronto Raptors legend.
I was just talking to Lex about that, bro. Like where did that even come from?
I can't wait to see Chris Paul in the pick and roll with Jakob Poeltl up in Toronto.
I think he's already got waived, so you're not going to see that.
It's going to feed families. All right, let's move on. The other team who decided that they were going to pounce and make a trade to get better. So we have two teams that have been tanking for a couple of years now, and honestly, it hasn't really been working for either of them. The Wizards and the Jazz, they tank every year, and they haven't won the lottery. And you know what? Especially if I'm the Jazz, man, year after year, just getting the fifth pick.
Yeah.
Being the worst record in the league just to get the fifth pick. I'm sick of it too. They decided to go all in for Jaren Jackson Jr. This is the most Danny Ainge trade I have ever seen. There wasn't a peep about the Jazz at the trade deadline being buyers, and then they decided to go and trade for Jaren Jackson Jr. So Jaren Jackson Jr. was traded for, let's get all of it, Walter Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, George Yang, and 3 first-round picks. Which is a Utah pick in 2027, the Lakers pick in 2027, and a Phoenix pick in 2031. That's kind of juicy. But Utah keeps their pick this year, and they get Jaren Jackson Jr. They don't give up Ace Bailey. They don't give up Keontae George. They don't give up Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler.
Didn't even give up Cody Williams. So
I don't think anyone's taking Cody. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
He's still a young player you can develop. You know, that's the
Cody Williams has had a good. He's looked pretty good the last couple weeks. He looks like
I get his rookie year was one of the worst lottery pick rookie years you can have, but he's still a young player that anyone.
He broke the record for plus minus this year. He was a minus 60 in a game, bro. That's gotta hurt. Could you imagine? You imagine going out there and you were a minus 60. You just got your ass whooped every minute you were on the court. That's gotta suck, man.
I think
Scoot especially when your brother's as cold as he is.
Yeah, that's the main thing about it. You're not gonna hear the end of that.
Never look my brother in the eye. But I just imagine J-Dub sitting in the locker room. Go ahead.
So I was hearing that the Jazz's pick is top 8 protected
next year.
Maybe it was next year. I can't remember his name, bro. It was just one of the shows on ESPN, but maybe they were talking about next year's pick because the pick they have this year.
Yeah, because they didn't give up this year's pick.
You say it was like 26 overall or something like that.
Now the Thunder have the Clippers pick top 8 protected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay. That could have been it too.
Maybe.
So if the Clippers have a top 8 pick, they keep their pick, but if not, it goes to the Thunder. So the Thunder could have a lottery pick and win, 1 million games.
That's ridiculous. Whoever's in that front, or not whoever's in that front office, but their front office is phenomenal.
Sam Presti. Say impressed you, man.
And I like this trade for both sides because Jaren Jackson Jr. Obviously they had their thing in Memphis and they're supposed to. Then all that blew up once they traded Dylan Brooks, so he gets a chance to play competitive basketball again. One of the guys I mentioned before the season, Walter Clayton Jr. I think he gets an opportunity in Memphis to kind of. I think he'll have to earn it, of course, but I think he gets an opportunity in Memphis to kind of do what we were seeing in Florida and get back to his play style. So I'm excited to watch him. I'll be watching a lot more Memphis games now just to see how he's developing. But I think that's my favorite part of it is Walter Clayton Jr. getting his opportunity.
Yeah, if you're Memphis, you get Walter Clayton Jr., Cedric Howard, Zach Edey, and a billion picks over the next 5 to 7 years.
Whoa! You left
out
hard
George reset. Hunter,
what's the respect of
you
George?
hated George Niang. We're not gonna sit here and defend George Niang when all you did the second he touched the floor.
He tried to play like a point guard, and he's 6'8".
The second he touched the floor for the Cavs, you lost your mind. You hated George.
Niang. Bron.
Yeah. George Niang's basically just LeBron, but a little worse.
Everybody could be Bron. They're just not.
I'm not saying the Jazz. Okay. I'm not.
Am I wrong?
Everybody could be LeBron James. They just aren't.
It's a fact, bro.
That's a great point, Rich. I really like it. Could you imagine, bro? You're sitting down. You got, I don't know, Cam Reddish. Like, bro, you could be LeBron if you tried. You're just
not.
What are you doing, bro? Bro, just do that. Just do that. Do what he does.
If everybody did that, they'd be doing that. I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll, bro.
That's real, though.
That's
real, though. It's real. Hunter, what do you think about Utah in this trade?
I'm not saying they'll be the clear best team, but they've now made it to where teams have to have special lineups for them because they will have the tallest starting lineup that they're not really sacrificing speed or agility in that lineup to play. Because Markkanen played small forward for most of his career. Ace Bailey's still a shooting guard. Jaren Jackson works better at power forward. Walker Kessler, the center, obviously. None of them are really out of their position to play in that starting lineup, and they got 3 7-footers.
Yeah, I mean, Lowry's not really a 3, but we saw him do it well with the Cavs.
But it's not like you're losing anything with him playing the 3.
Yeah, this trade told me 2 things. One, the Jazz think that Keontae George is good enough to be like a real guy on a good team.
I'm glad you brought him.
And I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been watching the Jazz. I've been going back and watching Jazz games because I wanted to see Sensabaugh's 40 piece. Because I'm telling you, when Bryce Sensabaugh, when he's cooking, there's not a basketball player more fun to watch. Like the mid range, that dude is a hooper. That guy's a bucket getter.
I still haven't watched
Insane.
that. I need to watch that.
Bro, you got to go watch the Bryce Sensabaugh 40 piece. And then Keontae George had his 43 and 8. So I wanted to see it. And I was really impressed with his ability to get to his spots. Because he had this 2-man game where just over and over again, he'd get the dribble handoff from Nurkic up top, and he'd get to the Chris Paul elbow midi that he used to hit all the time on the right side. He'd get to the elbow. And Keontae George probably hit like 5 of those in that game. Just automatic. And if Keontae George is a guy, we know that Lauri Markkanen is a guy. We know that Triple J could be a guy. So it says they think Keontae George is real. And the second thing I think it says is they're definitely bringing back Walker Kessler. Restricted free agent. He's not going to go for much at all. I'm really interested to see what that contract looks like, or if he even takes a qualifying offer to try and see if he can get himself a bag next summer when everybody has cap space. Really interested to see that. But yeah, this lineup's going to be huge. Like it could be Keontae George.
Shooting guard could be 6'10" or 6'9". He's one of the 2.
Ace Bailey. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the 2. I don't know which one, but.
And then I love Collier. Last night, Isaiah Collier had 22 assists.
Bro, it was wild.
Like, I love Isaiah Collier. Sometimes when he drives, he can get a little like head down and like he just decides he's going to put this shot up. But man, I'm telling you, Isaiah Collier's a really good bench point guard. Keontae George is a real guy. Bryce Sensabaugh has a chance to be a real bench scorer. Ace Bailey, his potential's through the roof. Lauri Markkanen is already averaging 28 a game.
Who are they
Triple
getting the
J's
lottery this year
DPOY,
too?
and whoever they get in the lottery, any of them, they can get any of them. Yeah. So I really like. I feel kind of about the Wizards because I don't trust Trae Young or Anthony Davis for different reasons. I love the Jazz trade because not only that, they got John Conchar, who I like, and they traded Landale to Atlanta. I think Jock Landale ended up going to Atlanta. And they got Vince Williams as well, who's intriguing. So like the Jazz just have a ton of intriguing players. And if they can be bad enough to get a good pick this year, next year's going to be fun. I'm really excited about it.
I love the trade. I love the team. One thing I would like to see the Jazz do, and just kind of piggybacking on what you said about Isaiah Collier, I think he's going to be a great point guard in the league. I mean, if he can continue to do stuff like that, it doesn't have to be 22 assists every night, but just impact the game in other ways and scoring. He's going to be great. But what I would like to see the Jazz do is maybe bring in, doesn't necessarily have to be a vet, but just somebody that they can put in the lineup with Keontae George that can maximize his scoring potential because he's going to be playing point guard. So I think he's going to be expected to facilitate in certain, especially with Jaren Jackson Jr. bringing more offense. They're going to try to get everybody involved. But I would like to see just somebody come in so he can. I don't want to see Keontae George lose that part of this game. Is all I'm saying. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they have a plan for it. I think it's going to be great. Their lineups are going to be great. But that's the only thing that concerns me with it is that they kind of nerf Keontae's scoring by trying to make him facilitate and get everybody involved because I still think him and Markkanen are the cornerstone of their offense as far as scoring goes. So I just want to see that.
They should be.
Yeah, I just want to see that continue.
Yeah, that's the only danger is Jaren Jackson's been able to cook a little bit this year.
Yeah.
Without Ja for most of the year and Bane. And hopefully we could see back to a little bit of him being able to play off ball some and spot up shoot some. You're going to have to let him cook, because he's an all-star, all-NBA player. I think he made an all-NBA team. He might have. I don't remember if he made one last year. Look at Charlie chilling.
See a little head in the back.
Yeah. Just got a poof of hair. That's all I could see. But, yeah, I like the trade. I'm excited about it. And then we got one more, and then we're going to finish up with the most exciting trade we've seen currently. But I do want to break some news. We just had a trade in the NBA. Tyus Jones to the Hornets. Tyus Jones to the Hornets. And I think it's kind of a salary dump. 2 second-round picks, too. So I don't know what's going on there. The Hornets keep just acquiring picks. I wouldn't be shocked if the Hornets made a Giannis move.
They also got Kobe White earlier.
I'm about to say they got picks and guards. They're picking them up. But that wouldn't.
Like they got a guard now.
That wouldn't be a bad.
I'm just saying.
Bad spot for Giannis, bro.
I'm just saying. LaMelo, Zion James, Liam McNeely, and who else was it to make the money work? I don't remember. And now they've got a ton of picks. If I'm the Bucks, I'm looking at that and I'm like, young players. You got LaMelo's a young star who's going to sell tickets here. Bunch of picks. If I'm the Hornets, it's like Colin Sexton, Kobe White, Con Knuppel, Brandon.
You don't have Colin Sexton
Miller.
anymore.
You're right. Brandon Miller, Giannis, Miles Bridges. That's kind of crazy. So, anyway, keep it pushing. But next, I want to talk about a couple small trades, and then we're going to get to the big Garland Harden swap. We're going to let Hunter talk for a second. What is a small trade, but an insane trade, is the Thunder got Jared McCain for 1 first and 3 second-round picks. This feels like
not just the first either. The Rockets first, so it's not going to be good.
It's not a great first. I've never been more convinced that a player who is struggling is going to be awesome on their next team
I love
than
that
I
trade for
am with
OKC.
Jared McCain right now.
Yeah, I think I'm happy for him, bro, because obviously his rookie season got cut short with an injury, and since he's been back, they've kind of changed the identity of Philly. I think he would have been, you know, in that spot where VJ is had he not got injured. Uh, we've been talking about him, and the same way we talk about how the potential of VJ. But I like this move for him because I don't think he'll necessarily get more minutes. It's probably going to be a lot of the same kind of role in OKC, but OKC just has a more inclusive culture. If that makes sense. If a guy's hot, if a guy's producing, they tend to reward those kind of things. At least it seems like I say, he might not get all the minutes. They already got their what they got going on. But Jared McCain being such a good scorer, you look at a guy like AJ Mitchell, um, who we talked about last spot. I think he could do a lot of the stuff that AJ Mitchell can do for them.
He could do more.
Exactly, and more for real. I love the trade for OKC, and I'm really happy for Jared McCain that he has a chance to compete now.
If there was one thing that I thought the Thunder were missing, it was they didn't really have anyone who can, like, I think like the Celtics,
Of
like
course,
when Tatum and Brown are out, sometimes you can get Peyton Pritchard can come off the bench and give you 10 points in 8 minutes.
yeah,
You know, and the Thunder don't really have that guy without Shea, and it kind of just comes down to are they going to hit their threes or not when Shea's not in the game?
right. That's exactly what it is.
And like Jared McCain gives him the possibility to have someone potentially, if we can see him back to the flashes we saw his rookie year last year, that can be an offensive like microwave creator off the bench and potentially even more. Who knows? And I also am very intrigued. It feels like they're setting up to a place where they might not potentially need Jalen Williams.
This
I
move
love
was
Jalen
definitely
Williams,
made to compensate for his lack of
I think
availability lately. Definitely,
but if they want to save money, they could
yeah.
they've
this
seen
summer.
they can be just as good or somehow better without him, and then you don't have to pay him that supermax,
That's exactly like
and you can stay under that second apron for longer.
as good as he is.
Hunter, just go ahead and say you think Jalen Williams is bad.
No, he's their clear second best player. There's no one
Do it for the
close.
internet. Do it for the internet.
No,
Jalen Williams sucks, and here's
no.
why. No, it's funny. No, but as good
He's
as
not
he
playing.
is, I do think that what he means to the team could be replaced by multiple guys coming off your bench. You know what I mean? Like he's not necessarily just replaceable one for one, but now that you got guys like AJ Mitchell, Jared McCain, who I believe can score just as well as Jalen Williams, you can kind of Shea takes on a lot more, which he can handle. And then you can kind of swap these guys in and out. That gives you different looks offensively. Defensively as well. Um, and I think it kind of adds just a little bit of variety for them. So, I mean, you're not. I wouldn't say you're too off base there. Like that could really be a possibility.
Yeah, every other guard they have on their roster is more of a 3-and-D guy,
Yeah,
and Jared McCain gives him the ability to have someone who can actually create. Like Crusoe, he can do a little bit of it. Wallace, he can do a tiny bit of it. But when it comes down to it, Jared McCain has the potential to be a real like buzzsaw for your offense off the bench. I'm really excited to see what that turns into.
I
And
hold up.
go ahead,
I
Hunter.
just don't get why anyone is giving the Thunder
I don't get it
young
either.
players
I don't
who
understand.
were leading the rookie of the year like odds before he got injured last year. And so he still has flexibility and he has no pressure to quickly get back to what he was. And you can actually slowly work himself up to that and make it easier for him to get that.
Yeah, what's confusing to me is the Celtics have a traded player exception. They have 27 million TPE if they wanted to, and they're so far under the tax they could still be in the first apron, not the second apron, I think, or maybe even stay in the first apron with under the first apron and take on Jared McCain's salary. It's like, why isn't there another contender like the Celtics or the Lakers or anyone who's willing to say, we'll give you a first and 3 picks?
Yeah.
And you just give him to the clear best team in the league that isn't going to stop being the best team in the league. You're only going to make them better. And
I don't know who let this happen, but whoever it is, jail.
Right.
Lots of it. Yeah, I think it's time, Hunter. We've danced around this. We've talked about everything else. We could talk about Vooch to the Celtics. All right, and I'm excited about that.
Praying for you.
But Rich, what I think is I'm gonna call an ISO. I'm gonna clear out, and I'm just gonna say that Darius Garland got traded. And I would say straight up for James Harden, but actually the Cavs had to attach a pick to get off of the Darius Garland contract.
somehow
James
we were
Harden,
rumored to get the pick back at first. I don't know how that happened. So
who's 10 years older. So Darius Garland, 26-year-old all-star point guard. You've traded him for multiple-time MVP, one of the greatest offensive players of all time. But he is 36 years old. His name is James Harden. He's now a Cleveland Cavalier. I'm going to mute Hunter. Go ahead.
don't mute. First off, it does make the team better, but you're trading like the most fan favorite player since LeBron.
He might be better than LeBron.
No,
could
not
be LeBron,
better.
bro. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, if
You ask
he could
any
be
Cavs,
LeBron.
I could see it. He gets back from the toe injury at his best. He's just easily up there.
Wait, what are you talking about, Hunter?
I think you got this wrong, Alex. I'm saying he's that good of a player. What are you
fantasizing about? Salivating.
Nope.
Tantalizing. Okay, keep going.
Nope. Stop using big
Darius
words.
Garland. Go ahead.
You ask any Cavs fan who their favorite player is, and almost all of them will tell you Darius Garland. So the complaints aren't because they didn't get the better player or win the trade. They just lost the clear fan favorite on the team. That is the reason the Cavs were good for the first time since LeBron.
So you've had a day to think about it. Are you still as pissed as you were yesterday? Are you more pissed? Are you less pissed? Like
today's worse because you're getting all the reports of what Rich Paul was doing. And then the reports of his relationship with Donovan Mitchell where they're saying they were good off the court, but they didn't want to play together because they didn't work. And then the worst one is the Cavs saying he didn't try to prevent injuries when they were injuries that couldn't really be prevented. He got hit in the face and broke his jaw. How do you want him to prevent that?
Stop.
Toe sprains aren't something you can really train for.
Start doing toe crunches. He started doing that stuff that Wemby was doing. You know, he was on all
That's
fours,
the only thing that
crawling around on his toes and
work. But
Like
you could have just said you didn't like that you can't trust him to play because of injuries, and not saying that he didn't care, because I don't think that's what it was.
You want my 2 cents, Hunter?
You're gonna say it's a good trade for the Cavs. I already know.
The Cavs had to trade Darius Garland.
It was happening anyways because of second apron. It just
What's shocking to me is a year and a half ago, they probably could have gotten Mikal Bridges or
there's reports that
Franz
Suns,
Wagner.
There was a reports the Suns last year, the year before with the KD stuff.
They could have got KD.
Wanted a Garland-based trade.
And what's confusing to me, could you imagine if KD was a Cav? That would almost feel wrong.
Yeah, I could.
Like,
I mean, I
don't think you could do that.
I think KD would do.
It feels wrong to me that Harden's a Cav. That just doesn't feel like a player that would ever have been a Cav.
But
I've actually heard that James Harden already has requested a trade from the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I would not be
He's
surprised
upset with the front office. Some to do with the scene, if you will, in Cleveland isn't as robust as he thought it would be.
It's exactly what he needs at his big boy age. Go ahead and put that down. But
come on, man.
Hunter, y'all getting LeBron back next year, so you don't even have to worry about it.
That was the good report from today.
Doesn't it?
We got the report that Donovan Mitchell and James Harden are going to heavily recruit him
It's happening,
in
bro.
the offseason.
He's going to end his career in Cleveland.
And then there was already the reports that his camp was thinking that Cleveland is a real possibility because he's not going back to the Lakers.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't retire, it just feels like it's guaranteed as a
It
Cav.
would definitely be the Cavs. There's no question.
Yeah, he's retiring or he's going back to Cleveland. Here's the thing, Hunter. If this deal works, your team's going to make it to the finals, and you're not going to care about Darius Garland ever again, right?
I don't think that's true.
You're just not. Now, don't get me wrong. So, for example, my team traded my favorite player, Marcus Smart, for Kristaps Porzingis and 2 firsts. Marcus Smart for Kristaps would have been a win already straight up. The Celtics got 2 firsts on top of it.
We're giving up
Hunter,
the pick too.
But here's what I'm saying. I was sad for like 2 weeks. I love Marcus Smart. Okay? And Rich, we might need to get him back. I'm just saying.
Can't have him.
We might need I
see why you love him, but no.
I love Marcus Smart. And I won't lie. And when the Celtics won the title, there was like a second where I was like, man, I wish Marcus Smart was here. And then the whole rest of the time, I was like, my team just won the finals.
But Marcus, I will say this, though. Marcus Smart did deserve to be there. He really did. He definitely
100%. If anybody deserved there, it was Marcus Smart. He should have been there. And I will root for Marcus Smart until I die. But the point I'm trying to make is, Hunter, they should have traded Darius Garland a minute ago. It should have been for James Harden. But here's the truth of the matter. James Harden is way better than Darius Garland right now. He's just better.
Yeah.
And your team is in a wide open East.
It's not like we sold him so low, like Trae Young value. We still got
and the crazy
one of the best
part
players
is
in the league still.
You've still got Schroeder and Keon Ellis, and I love this team.
We got off of Lonzo's contract.
Got off Alonzo.
They're $3 million away from getting out of the second apron. They were $33 million in. They saved over $100 million in tax, and they haven't made a trade that's really hurting them and the players they're getting. So I think the Keon Ellis and Schroeder trade made the Darius Garland ones a lot easier to accept, but yeah.
So 2 things are going to happen. One thing could happen is the Caps could win the East, and all of a sudden you don't care. The second thing that's more likely is it's a game 6 in round 2 against literally anyone, and James Harden shoots 2 for 11 for 8 points and 4 assists, 6 turnovers.
Well, we got so many players around him now that it doesn't.
Hunter might need to be on a criminal watch list.
No.
We might have to put Hunter on a list if that happens. And I don't think anyone in the Cavaliers front office is safe if that's the case. But we'll see. Only time will tell.
He's not a Laker, but if we don't make it out the second round, it has already been reported he's not re-signing. So that was the whole reason the trade also happened.
I mean, maybe the rumors right now are Miami might try and get Giannis and Ja. That would be crazy. By the time this comes out, we'll know already. But any other trades we want to talk about?
I just want to shout out.
Jaden Ivey was another one.
And that's exactly where I was going to. But I was actually on the other side of it, is them getting Kevin Huerter on the Pistons. Just adding a little more shooting. You remember Bron's Heat days, just the lineup that they had. You got, so Bron obviously being Cade on this team. You got Bron, dribble drive, kick out. In the corners, he got Mike Miller. Other corner, he's got Shane Battier. You got 2 guys that can space the floor, give Cade even more space to operate on the team that's already rolling. Of course, they lost Jaden Ivey, but I think they gained a lot more to elevate Cade, and I think that's the most important part of their team, obviously. So I really like that trade for the Celtics. I was looking at your hat when I said it. For the Pistons, I just think it's going to be great for them come postseason.
Yep. I like it too, and we'll see what happens at the trade deadline tomorrow. If anything crazy happens on Thursday for the trade deadline, we'll find a way to get some reactions in there. I just want to say real quick before we leave, the Celtics played the Rockets tonight. They didn't have Jaylen Brown. They didn't have Sam Hauser. They didn't have Anthony Simons. They didn't have Vucevic. and they beat the Rockets because Neemias Queta is he might just be the best center in the NBA, and that's all I need to say about that. So,
Why did you get Vucevic then?
because we need a backup. We need a backup big.
It's a lot of money for a backup.
He's an expiring
Ready
deal.
to 6-man for him?
Expiring deal.
There's no way, bro.
I'm so confused, Hunter. All right, whatever. This is the Trade Machine Podcast. We love the NBA, and we're about to get in the most fun part of the year. So,
Lakers in 5.